She needs to stop holding on to her mistakes and just let it go.
Welcome back to Joe in the Know. I'm really excited to speak with our next guest. I've been following her for a little while, but I've never actually got to meet her. But she is the All-State 2A Pitcher of the Year and just finished her junior year at West Wilkes High School. It's Miss Kelsey Madden. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, hey, I'm Kelsey. I'm 17 years old. I'm a rising senior at West Wilkes High School. I play basketball and softball at West, and then after high school, I plan to attend Southern Wesleyan University on a softball scholarship. And then I'm a family of 5. I live with my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister. And then on my free time, I do pitching lessons with little girls.
Awesome. So you started pitching lessons. When did you start doing that?
I would say around a year ago. My mom reached out to me. I go to school with her son. So her younger girl wanted to start pitching lessons. So I was willing to do it, and she came with one of her friends. So that's 2 girls starting. And I started them together. And then I'd say when we won the state championship is when I picked up a lot more. I have now 11 or 12, I would say. I just kind of took off from there. I have 11 now.
Awesome. Well, that's great. That's what I like to hear. I like to see, athletes passing their traits along and what got them where they're going and help pass that along to the next generation coming up. So that's fantastic. I like that. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the moment in the state championship game. You're in the final inning and you're the pitcher. Yeah. What's going through your mind? What are you trying to get done? Okay, so it was such a close game. It was 3-2, so really tight, especially to be in the last inning of the state championship. Honestly, I was just thinking, don't let them really get a hit. Don't let them score. Don't let them get a solid hit, to be exact. Because I knew if they got a hit, my defense could make the out. So I wasn't worried about that. But if they barreled it up, that would have put a lot of pressure on me. So I was kind of worried. But as long as I hit my spots, I think we had it. So not really much pressure. So you were pretty confident in how y'all were going to be able to make it play out.
Well, yeah, because Friday we did really well the first game of the state playoffs. So went kind of well. Good. Well, It paid off, and y'all brought home the state championship. So that's fantastic. Yeah.
So when did you start playing softball?
So I started with my sister when I was about 4 or 5. I just looked up to her. I wanted to be exactly like her. When we were younger, everything she did just amazed me, so I wanted to do everything she did. And pitching really didn't come from her. It came from my dad, but he was a catcher, and I wanted to be a catcher first, but he told me no because then I would have bad knees. But now I have a bad arm and hip flexors too, so that's great. But
yeah, a little bit of a trade-off.
Yeah.
Your arm, you had trouble with it this year. Is that the first time you had trouble with your arm?
Yeah, when I was younger, it wasn't a problem at all. But I also wasn't pitching half as much as I did this year because I was pitching almost every game of every inning. So it kind of put a little tear on it. And I hurt my bicep. I had bicep tendonitis, which kind of sticks with you for your whole life, but there's ways to make it get better. And so I went to my athletic trainer, Coach Almquist at West, and he has helped me tremendously. I went there, so I didn't have a 4th period first semester. So every 4th period I would go in there and I'd work my arm trying to get it stronger. And honestly, at the end of the season, it felt amazing. But I would say in the last game of the state championship, is when it kind of started hurting a little bit more because I pitched the whole game before, or the whole day before. So, but I didn't really have a problem with it until this year, and I guess it's bound to happen, but
yeah, y'all put a lot of torque and a lot of pressure on yourselves. I've always wondered about that. And so how long have you been pitching?
Since I was 8 or 9, so
about
9 years. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if this is the first time you've had any issues, that's probably good. So I had never been able to watch you play until a couple of weeks ago. I think it's the Tar Heel State Championship, and I got to watch you play in that tournament, and I think you had a pretty good game. I think I read, do you remember how many strikeouts you had?
I don't remember.
I think it said 15. That may be wrong. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That was pretty phenomenal. I was like, wow, that's putting it on somebody right there.
Oh, thank you.
You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So being the pitcher, that's a key position. Yeah. You're kind of the cog. How do you handle that pressure?
Okay, so I would say there's not as much pressure as people make it out to be. obviously there's some games there's more pressure than others, but honestly, as long as I have confidence in my teammates, and I'm not really pressured about like messing up, because I do know if I mess up, like my team can come back and fix the problem that I caused. But it's really not a big struggle. I feel like when I started and I wasn't as confident, I put too much pressure on myself. But as the season went along and I gained a lot more confidence, the pressure kind of just faded away as my confidence grew. But,
okay, cool.
yeah.
So I've been to a couple of ball games, and I've been at North High a lot, and y'all have played there, and I've seen you play in basketball as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about basketball a little bit. How long have you played basketball?
Oh, I also did that one because my sister did it. So my sister, I think that was her like favorite sport when she was younger. So I obviously wanted to be exactly like her. She was a good shooter, so I tried to be like that, but I'm not a good shooter. So I'd say I started when I was probably about the same age as I started softball, 4 or 5. Just picked up with her team too.
Okay.
It wasn't like, I wasn't as good as basketball as I was softball, but I tried, so that's all you can do.
Softball seems to be your sport.
It definitely clicked for me at a young age.
You got that going on.
Yeah.
So I guess was the bicep tendonitis, was that your most challenging moment that you experienced this last year, or is there something else that sticks out?
In the last year, I would definitely say it was my bicep. But a couple years before, or I'd say a couple years ago, actually, I hurt my ankle because I was training with Ty Horton, and there was a bunch of girls from the school team. We were all just training, and I landed on someone's ankle, or someone's foot, and hurt my ankle. And I was out for, I think, a month and a half. But it was like one of those springs that are worse than a fracture.
Yeah.
So
that
kind of took a little toll on basketball. But other than that, that's the only really big struggles I faced.
So that happened during basketball season. Were you did you have some anxiety leading into that next softball season, or did you have any worries there where you're like, is this going to linger, or did that even cross your mind?
So that was actually before I was pitching for school.
Okay.
We had Lily Profit, so I was on shortstop. So that kind of was like, okay, it's less work on my ankle. Like when I threw bullpens, I guess I was kind of scared to land on it at first. But after a couple bullpens, I felt really confident, and it kind of just went away. But, yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
So what kind of role has your teammates, your family, your coaches, what kind of role have they played in your success?
Okay, so I'd say family-wise, my dad has pushed me the hardest, just trying to make me better. I feel like that's what all dads do. Family in general, they've also guided me to like play softball and pushed me to be better and paid for all my travel ball, everything, equipment. But coaches, they've made me better every practice, every game, pushed me to be better. And then teammates, I felt like they just made me want to be there. They made the sport fun. They made it interesting. On days that I didn't want to be there, they made me want to be there. I just feel like it's like a group role for success. But yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Good deal. So in school, are you in a lot of clubs and other activities in the school?
Yeah, I'd say I'm in student council. There's this thing called Blackhawk Buddies. It's where we help the elementary school. And then pep club and a beta club too. I think that's all the clubs, but just a couple.
What's your favorite?
Probably the Blackhawk Buddies.
You like going to elementary school?
Yeah.
I think I saw y'all out at Miller's Creek quite a bit.
We redid them a lot. And then Blackhawk, we like throw Christmas parties and Easter parties for like kids who just don't have all the gifts at home. But yeah, I really enjoy it. So it's probably my favorite.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So what's the big goal that you've set for next year? What's the number one goal? Okay,
number one goal is to win another state championship, obviously. But the little goals, I would say, is to win conference, to win regionals again, and then I think just as a team, be better teammates and be better players, like on the field and off the field. But
yeah. So for the little kids, you already kind of pitch and role model there.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give a young athlete that's coming up wanting to be like you?
So I recently had a conversation with a younger kid who was struggling, and I honestly just told her that she needs to stop holding on to her mistakes and just let it go. Because when I was younger, I did the same thing. Every mistake I made, I remembered it and thought about it almost every day after that. But you just got to let it go, because that's probably what's going to hold you back in the future. So just relax. It's a game. You're going to make mistakes. Just let it go and have fun with it. But that's probably what I'd give them, just to realize that mistakes happen. You got to learn from them and move on.
That's some really good advice. I mean, that's advice not only for a young athlete, but I think that's good advice for everybody. Everybody needs to hear that and remember that, because I think as humans, we sit here and something happens and we sit here and dwell on it, and it drags us down.
Absolutely. My dad still sometimes has to remind me that too, because I'm still the worst for it, but I guess it happens.
I think that's something we have to live with our whole life, and we've always got to remind ourselves of that. So So I'm friends with your mother on Facebook, and I saw that she's been sharing something from like Sports Illustrated needing people to vote for you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little more about that?
So it's actually Youth Athlete of the Year. And if I win, I'm featured in a 3-brand advertisement in Sports Illustrated. But
I think there's a cash prize in that too, like $15,000, I think.
Yeah, it's a good little prize.
So that'd be pretty cool.
No, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
And we'll put the link in the description for that, and we'll share that as well so we can get word out and hopefully get people voting, because I think as of before the interview, I think you were in second place in this round and you only had to make top 15. So that's looking pretty good for now. So earlier you said that you were going to Southern Wesleyan University. Can you tell me about how you got in contact with them, where they're located, and kind of the recruiting process there?
Yeah. So they're actually located right outside of Clemson. So it's a really small D2. So they actually found me. I think I was playing in Rock Hill, and I was actually on shortstop that game. I was not pitching. And they walked up to one of the coaches at the high school, actually. His daughter was on my team, Ryan Nichols. He's the assistant. They walked up to him, and they were like, "Who's the girl on shortstop?" And he directed them to my mom, which I had been coaching my travel team since since I started. He coached me up until I was like 14, and then I switched teams. But so the assistant coach found him and asked him for my information. And then after the game, I started talking to him, and that's really how we met. And then the next tournament, the head coach for Southern Wesleyan University was there, and so I met him too. And it's kind of cool because the coaches are all like a family. So it's a dad, a son, and his wife. So it makes it feel more like home, I guess. But that's kind of how I met them. And then about the recruiting process, people make it to be really hard. Mine was, I guess the coaches kind of made mine a little bit more easier, but nothing really happened. I guess I went to a lot of their camps, and that's what kind of pushed them towards me, because I really enjoyed the camps and the people that were there. And the campus is also gorgeous. So I went on a visit, and they have everything I wanted, and everything. I don't really know what I'm going to major in, but everything that I'm thinking about majoring, they had. So, and it was a small campus. I knew my way around the first time I saw it. And so they took me on a visit, and they offered me, and they gave me a pretty good time to think about it. They gave me like 3 months to think about it. And that was about it. It was amazing. I mean, I think people make the recruiting process to be so scary, but it's not as bad as everyone makes it seem.
Okay, good to know. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming on. I've had a great time talking to you. It was fun getting to learn a little more about you and see what's going on with you. I've been following you, like I said, for a long time, and I finally get to talk to you and figure all this stuff out. So appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we'll be talking a little more in the future.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.